Higher education spaces are constantly reinventing themselves in order to best fit the needs of whom they are serving. The students they serve can drastically vary over time. From 2000 to 2015, the Asian American population grew 72%. This resulting influx of Asian American students created diverse opportunities while also challenging educators to identify and meet the needs of each unique Asian subpopulation. This video will explore the broad experiences of Asian American students with an emphasis on the experiences of male Chinese American students. While historical access to higher education differs across Asian subpopulations, affirmative action has been an ongoing event impacting these student groups for decades. In this context, college admissions offices are accused of scrutinizing Asian students' applications more harshly than others on the basis of long-standing stereotypes, such as the model minority myth. Those who perpetuate the model minority myth carry biases and unrealistic expectations that Asian American students are exceptionally good at maths and sciences, thus unfairly holding them to higher academic standards. An Asian American student, self-described as a staunch supporter of affirmative action, spoke of Harvard's 2018 affirmative action case. "Look, I support Harvard's right to pursue the diversity they want, but of course they discriminate against Asian kids." Chinese American student Alex Chen similarly reflected, "I understand the thinking behind affirmative action, but I just wish the message wasn't that Asians are all so privileged and rich and buying their way into colleges," referring to the perception that Asian parents, in effect, buy their kids' test scores through expensive prep programs and private tutoring. He continued, "And I wish that it didn't mean that my work didn't count in the same way as other people's work." Negative implications of the model minority myth extend much further than affirmative action. Asian American students in need of academic or personal support may be discouraged from seeking out support services due to external pressure that they have to be perfect and should not need any support to be successful. This can lead to students experiencing things such as, but not limited to, guilt, anxiety, depression, and insomnia. These experiences not only hinder students' ability to perform well academically, but they can also negatively affect their mental, emotional, and physical well-being. This added pressure on top of an already challenging transitionary point in time can leave affected students feeling lost and hopeless. An overwhelming majority of U.S. colleges perpetuate Western ideals, whether it be through observing primarily Christian holidays or Eurocentric course curriculum. These institutions further foster unwelcoming environments for Asian American students to explore the balance between their Asian and American identities. The combination of these identity values can be conflicting and may cause rifts with family members or internally, as an Asian American student grapples with how to achieve their perfect balance of both. This scenario is clear in a reflective statement from a male Asian American student at University of Vermont. After opening a dialogue with another male Asian American student, he said, "I got the impression that it was not until our conversation that he felt comfortable talking about his feelings and experiences at UVM. As we parted ways, I started to think about when I was a first-year undergrad and how therapeutic it was for me to vent to someone who understood my frustrations and anxieties as an Asian American." Along with the model minority myth, male Asian American students face historical stereotypes that they are socially awkward, emasculated, nerdy, and perpetually foreign. This graph is based on a study of Asian American males' perception of people's stereotypes about them. 28.5% of participants were Chinese, 65.2% were US born. Social identity theorists postulate that Asian American men try to attain a positive social image by actively disproving these stereotypes, regardless of whether their actions resemble their actual personality. This can be an exhausting lifestyle for male Chinese American college students who are simultaneously trying to navigate higher education. Though there exists heavy research about the oppression Asian American and male Chinese American students face, there is not nearly enough research examining the parallel negative effects from this oppression. As I worked my way through this research, I began to ask, why are there so few, if any, studies measuring whether, or the ways in which, male Chinese American students are using unhealthy coping mechanisms as a result of oppression? What are higher education institutions doing to address these concerns? How are they preventing this oppression? How are they creating inclusive environments? How can educators implement effective classroom conversation and learning about microaggressions? How can educators and campuses address racialized aggressions on social media? In addition to all of these follow-up questions, I examined my own identity in relation to my research. My identity is privileged because I have never had to face such resounding stereotypes based on my racial or ethnic background. I grew up in a rural, upstate New York town with very little diversity. My undergrad institution was also not very diverse, so these experiences really drive for me the importance of creating inclusive campus environments for all subpopulations of Asian American students. These newfound insights will help shape my professional practice in a multitude of ways. I know that individual acculturation may feel and look differently for every Asian American student, so support must be delivered on an individual-to-individual basis. I also know that support services need to be wide-ranging in the form of one-on-one support sessions, student groups, and university-wide initiatives in order to provide an array of what different students may feel comfortable with. I also know that student affairs educators need to be cognizant of the complexity of higher education and organize workshops for students and their families as a way to navigate these complexities together and create open, supportive communications. To create a more inclusive environment at Binghamton University, programs addressing acculturation gaps can be implemented. Students and their families can attend family weekends where they can learn more about the university and their respective academic program. These programs can also help break down the complexities of financial aid, graduation requirements, and more. Binghamton University can also update pamphlets, publications, and web pages to be more representative of male Chinese American students. They can also hire more male Chinese American staff or faculty in areas not related to science or math to achieve diversity and not perpetuate stereotypes. The university can also connect with the surrounding community to build a network of male Chinese Americans in Broome County, where participants can share their experiences and build interpersonal relationships.